Baghdad, April 2003. Black smoke blankets the city skyline as the thunder of explosions rattles the cracked walls of the historic Mansour district. Amidst this utter chaos, a special American intelligence unit moved in total silence toward a target that didn't exist on any map. Beneath a dilapidated General Intelligence building, a secret steel door led 5 stories deep underground, straight to Point Zero. The mission wasn't to search for weapons of mass destruction, as claimed, but to extract a black box full of secrets that could burn the entire Middle East. When the final vault was breached, they found mysterious water flooding the floor and thousands of documents floating amidst a suffocating chemical stench. Among those floating papers appeared the records of the lost Jewish archive and files of international assassinations whose perpetrators remain unknown to this day.
But the real surprise wasn't the flooded documents. The unit commander noticed that the vault's north wall didn't match the building's original blueprints. Behind a fake concrete panel, they discovered a completely dry, tightly sealed room, untouched by water, like a time capsule isolated from the world. Inside, there were no modern computers, but rather old analog recording devices and stacks of audio tapes dating back to the 1980s. One tape bore a date just 1 day before the invasion of Kuwait, recording a secret conversation with a high-ranking Western official whose name was never revealed. Next to the tapes sat a strange, complex encryption device. It wasn't Russian-made nor American, but an entirely unknown technology to Western intelligence. Suddenly, as an expert attempted to examine the device, silent alarms triggered and a chemical self-destruct mechanism silently activated to burn the remaining secrets. The unit commander realized the entire room was turning into a chemical oven, screaming orders to evacuate immediately before the steel doors automatically sealed. In those fatal seconds, a tech expert managed to rip a metallic hard drive from the core of the unknown device right before its circuits completely melted. The soldiers rushed out of the secret room, carrying the tapes and the metallic drive as the fake door slammed shut behind them with tremendous force, burying the rest of the secrets forever. Upon reaching the surface, a Black Hawk helicopter was waiting for them, beginning the journey to transport these spoils directly to Washington under heavy guard. But what no one knew at the time was that an Allied intelligence agency was watching the entire operation from the sky, knowing exactly what had been extracted. At CIA headquarters, it took weeks to decrypt the metallic drive, and what they found inside left top generals in a state of absolute shock.
The data wasn't about an alleged Iraqi nuclear program. It contained a list of hundreds of double agents planted within Europe's most powerful governments. One single name on this list sparked panic in Washington and London. A high-ranking advisor who had been leaking NATO secrets to Baghdad for 10 years. But the shock didn't stop there. The drive also contained digital copies of the audio tapes, which revealed a very familiar and terrifying voice. It was the voice of a Soviet KGB operative believed to have been killed in the 1980s, negotiating an arms deal with Iraqi intelligence in the dark. The deal included missing Soviet suitcase nukes, the real weapons of mass destruction that disappeared during the collapse of the Soviet Union and were never found. If this information was accurate, it meant the real threat was never in Baghdad, but in what had been smuggled out of it weeks before the invasion.
Immediately, the CIA formed a highly classified Black Ops team to track down these smuggled weapons before they reached the black market. The first lead took them to a secret port in Tartus, Syria, which was considered a major hub for arms smuggling during the chaos of the war. There, a satellite intercepted a coded message originating from a mysterious cargo ship leaving the port under the cover of a severe thunderstorm. The ship flew no national flag, but its hull number matched a phantom vessel used by a notorious international arms dealer. In the dead of night, in international waters, the Black Ops team intercepted the ship using stealth helicopters that landed silently on its deck. But when they breached the cargo hold, expecting to find the nuclear bombs, they found something entirely different and far more baffling. The golden artifact wasn't a weapon, but an ancient Babylonian relic wrapped in red velvet, a rare piece stolen from the National Museum, but with a strange modern modification. Inside this hollow artifact, they found a carefully hidden microfilm cylinder, its contents linked directly to the lost Jewish archive found in the flooded basement. The archive wasn't just historical documents, it contained detailed maps of ancient subterranean tunnels beneath the city of Babylon, allegedly hiding a massive secret. It became clear that the missing nuclear bombs were merely a decoy, a deliberate distraction created by Soviet and Iraqi intelligence to hide this real prize. Someone in the shadows was trying to reach those ancient Babylonian tunnels before the invading coalition forces could secure the historical sites. The Black Ops commander received a scrambled call from the Pentagon. Abort the ship search. The real target is 50 miles south of Baghdad. Move now. The Ancient Guardian. The Black Ops helicopters arrived at the ancient ruins of Babylon before dawn, where the Ishtar Gate stood as a silent guardian, hiding history's greatest secrets.
Look at these carvings.
Using the
flashlight
microfilm's
reveals every
coordinates,
detail.
the soldiers
Incredible.
discovered a
Perfectly
camouflaged
preserved.
entrance
This dust
beneath
adds
the
to the
foundations of Nebuchadnezzar's
Indeed.
palace,
Let's document
carved
this
into
before we
solid
move on.
rock,
The history is
untouched
palpable.
for millennia. When they moved the heavy stone, the smell of ancient trapped air emerged, revealing a spiral staircase descending into pitch darkness where radio signals couldn't reach. At the bottom of the stairs, they didn't find an ancient tomb, but a modern concrete facility built secretly in the 1970s, funded by an unknown intelligence network. Inside the facility, rows of old mainframe servers were still running on unique thermal generators containing unprecedented data. But the biggest shock was in the center of the room, where they found the body of a man in a Soviet military uniform, sitting before a glowing screen displaying a countdown. The countdown has begun, and only hours remain. What awaited the world at the end of this timer? The story continues, and the Crypts have more secrets to reveal. Subscribe now to discover the truth in Part 2.